Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the Sunday Storyteller Club. I'm glad to have you here. Today we're going to talk about the death of originality. The death of originality. So every generation believes it's the most creative one, that it invented rebellion, innovation, difference. But look around. If we look around and scroll long enough and everything starts to look the same. The same captions, the same aesthetics, the same people pretending to be different in the same way. We are living in the golden age of imitation, a world where originality has quietly died and nobody noticed. It didn't die violently. It died of comfort, of metrics, of fear. Fear of being disliked, fear of saying something wrong, fear of creating something that doesn't perform. The tragedy isn't that people copy. Humans have always copied. The tragedy is that we now call it strategy. We copy because the system rewards repetition. The algorithm loves familiarity, and we confuse recognition for resonance. The brain plays the same trick. It rewards what's familiar. When you repeat what works, your brain gives you dopamine, comfort, safety, belonging. But when you try something new, it releases cortisol, uncertainty, risk, discomfort. So the death of originality isn't cultural, it's biological. We are wired to avoid the anxiety that comes with creating something real. Originality has always felt wrong at first. That's why so few people stay there long enough for the discomfort to turn into distinction. I saw that once at a festival. It was Cannes Film Festival. It was the short film competition. And all were polished and beautiful and predictable because, it was Cannes and we're trying to have like a very nice selection of movies. Then came one, it was grainy, it was kind of an awkward pacing, it was bad lighting, but it had life. People walked out halfway through, but the ones who stayed, they could not stop thinking and talking about it afterwards. That's originality. It's not applause, aftertaste. The creator didn't make something to be liked. He made something to be felt and something that resembled them. That's what we have lost. Originality isn't about invention, it's about interpretation. You don't have to create something the world has never seen. You just have to show something familiar through a lens only you have. Because no one else grew up where you did, no one else carries your scars, your doubts, your perspective. That is your originality. The problem is we don't trust it anymore. We trade it for templates. I used to think originality was aesthetic, how different something looked, but originality is moral. It's not about design, it's about truth. To be original, you have to risk being misunderstood. And that's what most people can't handle. They want to be unique. We want to be unique, but also universally approved. That doesn't go together. They want to stand out. We want to stand out, but never stand alone. That's impossible. Because the moment your truth becomes universal, it's no longer yours. So, how do you stay original? 3 things. First one is boredom. Boredom. Stop filling every moment with content. Boredom is where your brain starts to remix the world. Every original thought begins in silence. Second is curiosity. Don't just consume what's trending in your field. Read outside of it. Talk to people who think differently. And the wider your inputs, the richer your synthesis. Third, I would say is nervousness. Before you share something, ask yourself, does this make me slightly nervous? If the answer is no, you're repeating. But if the answer is yes, you're alive. That nervous energy is your compass, pointing toward truth. Here's what happened. When you start doing this, people will resist. They will question, ignore, sometimes even mock. But if you keep going, a strange thing happens. You start attracting others who were also pretending. Originality wakes up originality. It's contagious. The courage to tell your truth gives others permission to tell theirs. And that's how our culture moves forward, not by consensus, but by collision. So no, originality isn't dead. It's just been buried under convenience. And every time you choose discomfort over imitation, every time you tell the truth, even when it's unpopular, you dig it back up, one honest creation at a time. The world doesn't need more creators chasing trends. It needs more witnesses. People who pay attention deeply enough to notice what's real and brave enough to say it out loud. Because when you do, you remind the rest of us what it feels like to be human again. This was the Sunday Storyteller Club. Thank you for listening. If this episode made you pause, don't share it right away. Sit with it. Let silence do its work. And when you're ready, create something that only you could make. See you next time. Bye.